Hello YouTube, I'm Jack Clark, the Eager Musketeer, coming to you with a series of card reviews from Premium Pack 14, debuting in the OCG, or has already been existed in the OCG, I guess. And of course, these aren't going to come to the TCG anytime soon, but it's always good to be prepared. And we're going to start off with the cards that I think are any good. I'm going to gloss over the ones that I think are really crappy, like Kagemusha Knight. So don't worry. But if you would like to look up those cards, there'll be a link in the underbar down below to go to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia page, so you can look at the crap. But I'm only going to cover the good stuff. So first off is Ma'at, based on the Egyptian god of the same name and the ultimate, the last trump card of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX manga. And I'm so annoyed because, spoilers for me, because I actually read it and have been reading it in the actual book form. So, his effect. First off, he's a light fairy, 10-star monster, so he's a big one. But with questionable attack and defense. Cannot be normal summoned. A set must be first special summoned from your hand by sending one face-up light dragon type and one face-up light fairy type monster you control to the graveyard, and cannot be special summoned in any other way. Once per turn, you can declare 3 card names, and then you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. If any of the cards that you revealed are the declared, or any of the cards you declared, you can add them to your hand. And Ma'at gains 1000 attack and defense for every card you added to your hand with its effect. So, ideally, it will gain 3000 attack and you will gain 3 in-hand cards. So, immediately, I'm like, ooh, this is really, really good because it has a very simple, I think you can, I'm actually going to go to the trivia because, or no, the tips, because Pigeonholing Book of Spells. Yep, Pigeonholing Book of Spells. For those of you who are unaware of Pigeonholing Book of Spells, it was released in, Magician's Force. And you can pick up the top 3 cards of your deck and you can return those cards in any order. But your opponent can't check those cards. So, combining it with Ma'at means that you will know what the top 3 cards of your deck are. Which means you can add them immediately to your hand with Ma'at, and he'll gain 3000 attack and defense, which I really like the look of. Practicality-wise, having to send a light dragon type and a light fairy type monster to the graveyard is kind of annoying. And I'm not sure how good that will be, or practical that will be, but it'll be interesting to see, because immediately I've just thought of Victoria. Victoria is a light fairy type monster who can special summon dragons from your opponent's graveyard. So this may be a card to use with Ma'at. I'm not quite sure. All I know is that Ma'at looks really quite groovy simply because of the whole, you get those 3 cards to your hand, so that would be... So, you gave up 2 cards. Let's say, ideally, you've given up 2 cards to summon Ma'at. So that's 2 for 1. So, and then you get 3 cards with its effect, ideally, if you use it with Pigeonholing or something. So, it's interesting. But, let's go to the next card, which is Masked Hero Acid. One of the better Masked Heroes, because we don't have many of them. But this one is actually decent, and has got a higher attack point than the other water-attributed Masked Hero, which means this one will most definitely see more play. But yes, it must be special summoned with Mask Change and cannot be special summoned by other ways. And when it's special summoned, you destroy it with spells and traps that your opponent controls. And all face-up monsters your opponent controls currently lose 300 attack. I really like it. Mask Change, for those of you who don't already know, is a spell card that allows you to tribute or target a hero monster you control. You send it to the graveyard, and then you special summon a Mask Hero with the same attribute. It is a quick play spell, so you are able to do some pretty interesting stuff with it. Masked Hero Acid, basically, you use it and Mask Change, you get a quick play version of Heavy Storm, as long as you have a hero, a hero monster which is water attribute, which I think is actually quite interesting. Plus, the attack deduction effect is quite interesting as well. Nice to use with Absolute Zero, just kind of combo it off. So that may be an idea as well. I really like this card. I don't know if hero decks will try and start using Mask Change, because the actual Masked Heroes are now actually not that bad. Just like the next one, Masked Hero Diane, which is an Earth one. And must be special summoned, of course, like with Mask Change. So you have to use it with an Earth hero monster. And when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon a hero monster from your deck that's level 4 or below. Immediately, just grab it from your deck. And with 2000 attack and 3000 defense points, it's quite big. And I really quite like the look of it. Whether or not you'll be able to use it efficiently, because it's an Earth attribute, is questionable. But it is a very good card if you can get it out. And yeah, I know how kind of the fusion monsters that hero decks can just pump out So this may actually just be worth using simply because it's got an amazing effect. So even if your opponent's Solemn Warnings or whatever, it's still very good. So yes, we're going to go from the Masked Heroes to a Synchro Purgatory Dragon, Ogre Dragoon, which I think was used by Kuru or Callan Kessler, but in the 5Ds manga. It needs a Dark Tuner and a one or more non-Dark Tuners. He's level 8, 3000 attack, 3000 defense, which is sturdy. And once per turn, if your opponent activates a spell or trap card and you have no cards in your hand, you can negate the activation of that card and destroy it. Let me just check, see if do we have any rulings? No, we don't. I can only assume that it's a quick effect, meaning that you can negate stuff in your opponent's turn. Hopefully it won't go down the route of Fleur de Chevalier, which can only activate during your turn. So, yeah, I hope if it can activate during your opponent's turn, that's very good. If not, then that kind of sucks. But with 3000 attack and defense for a level 8, that's quite nice, and it doesn't have a horrible kind of side effect that Red Dragon Archfiend has. So that may be worth using simply because of that if you have Dark Tuners. So, last ones, or I think I've got 2 more, is one Photon Sanctuary. Photon Sanctuary allows you cannot special summon any monsters. You can't summon any other monsters except a light monster the turn that you activate the card, and then you special summon 2 Photon tokens, which are light Thunder type, level 4, 2000 attack, no defense, and you summon them face up a defense position. But those tokens can't attack and cannot be used as synchro materials, which sucks. However, 2000 attack points, which means immediately you can tribute them to summon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, or you can use it to summon the next card, Photon Wyvern, and get its effect with the minimum of card advantage being used. Photon Wyvern, when he is normal or flip summoned, you get to destroy all set cards your opponent controls. So it's okay. I don't particularly think it will see much play, even with Photon Sanctuary. It's such a shame that you can't use tokens as Xyz material. But Photon Wyvern, I guess, until they release some more Photon support that is a bit more splashable, a bit more like a draw engine for the photons. I mean, I think there was one used in the anime which was basically banish 2 photons to draw 2 cards. If they release something like that, I could see this being used in such decks like Disaster Dragon or Despair Dragon or whatever. Basically just variations of dragon decks that use Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to and then special summon this and then use whatever effects. The only ways I can really fault it is the fact that Photon Wyvern won't get its effect when it's special summoned, but of course, Photon Sanctuary is there to kind of rectify that, and Photon Sanctuary, as it goes, is actually alright, and I quite like it. Not being able to use as synchro material kind of sucks, of course, but you can use it for tribute for any monsters as long as they're light. So that may be worth looking into. But yes, I'm Jack Clark, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer. More videos out too soon, especially with these card reviews. And if you have any comments or if you have any ideas for future videos, post those in the comments down below. But until then, annotation at the top left of the screen will take you to a previous video. Annotation at the top right will take you to a future video. If there's not one there will be one there soon. I'm Jack Clark, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer. Goodbye.